Good morning and welcome back to day 15 of Inktober Tangles 2023. Today we are looking at Scara by Midori Furuhashi CZT. It's a lovely flower type of tangle. And what you'll need is a regular size tile, number 2 pencil, a tortillon, or cotton swab, and a black pen. I'm using an apprentice pen today. We're going to start with our pencil, and we're going to make 4 dots, 1 in each corner. And then we are going to, one by one, connect those dots and make our frame. Once we're back to where we began, we can set our pencil aside for now. And you'll need your pen. And we're going to start very simply with not a dot, but a center circle. A nice sized little circle there. And then we're going to make 6 more little circles around our center one. So I like to start at the top here. It's a little smaller. And then I make the one at the bottom. And then I'm going to put one at roughly like 2 o'clock, maybe, if you're looking at a clock. And another one at roughly 4 o'clock. And another one at about 8 o'clock. And then come up to here at about 10 o'clock. So we have a center circle, which is a little larger, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smaller circles around it. And from there, it gets fun. We're going to make S shapes I start at the top and kind of make my S shape to go around the larger one. And then I like to rotate my tile. And I'm going to keep going around until I've done that same step with all of the little circles. And here's my last one. So we should have something that looks like this. You can see that my spacing is a little bit off, but that's totally fine. It doesn't have to be all even. The next step is to add more little circles. And I put them about halfway between the little circle and the center circle. So not quite touching, but a little bit above that previous line, I put a circle. And then I'm going to rotate my tile and do the same with the next one. I'm going to work my way all the way around, adding these little circles about halfway. One more here. All right, you should have something that looks kind of like that. And then again, starting from a top circle, you're just going to make a curve from the top circle over to a little circle in the middle, but towards the left. And then you're going to rotate your tile and do the same thing for each one. Always start with a circle on the outer layer of circles and go towards this middle one on the left. And just work your way around. And then we're at our last one. Once you get to this point, you're going to be working from the middle circles to the inner circle. And again, it's a simple curve. So go around the inner, I just like to trace around that inner circle and then curve out towards the right and into the center circle. Rotate your tile and find that middle circle, trace it and make a curve towards the right and into that center circle. And just keep following these around until you've done all 6 that way. This tangle kind of reminds me of Huggins. If you're familiar with Huggins, it's kind of similar. And that was our last one. So if you're all caught up, this is what it should look like. Again, it's a lot like Huggins, but because it's in a circle, it's circular, it reminds me of a flower. And from this point, you can shade or you can add some detail. I'm going to add a little detail here. I'm just going to aura within each of these. These are almost like petals. So I'm going to aura on the inside. A couple of times. And I'm going to do that for each of these petals. And some of your petals are going to be larger than the others, some of them smaller, and that's okay. That's what makes it beautiful. But when I do this, I'm alternating sides. So if I start on the left, then I go to the right, and I go back to the left and to the right. And we're already at the last one. And here we are. I think for this one, I'm going to add a nice little border. So we're finished with our Scara, but I'm going to add a border here just for the fun of it. So I'm going to actually ink over my frame here. And then I'm going to aura that on the inside. And I think I'll do something, let's do Doodah. Let's start with that one. Doodah is very simple. I'm going to just start on you can start anywhere really. I'm just going to start in the center here and make a line, not connecting the two outside lines. Once you have one line next to it, start from the top and go almost to the bottom line. And I like to alternate. There's different ways to do it, but I just keep going around. So from this one, start from the bottom line and go almost to the top. If it's easier for you to rotate the tile each time you move on, by all means do so. But I'm just going to go every other. And I'm going to rotate my tile and continue around. Remember to keep alternating. And we're almost finished. So once we have that set up, then we kind of round out these corners. I'm going to start at the bottom here. So it's just rounding that out and then filling it in for each one. And I like to work, rather than alternating, I like to work all on one row all the way around before doing the other side. So I've got the inside all rounded out, and then I'm going to do the same for the outer layer here before I take the time to fill all those in. And with the corner here, I like to add a little rounding as well. A little rounding there. back where we started. And then I'm going to take the time to fill these in just for that dramatic effect. I guess you wouldn't have to if you like it the way it is. That's entirely up to you. But I'm just going to fill these in. And again, I'm working on the inside and then I'll do the outside, but you might like to alternate. You do whatever feels best for you. And as you can see, it doesn't take that long at all to fill these in. But you can do it as quickly or as slowly as you'd prefer. There's no time limit here. Now I'm working on my outer layer. And as you can see, once you start filling in these areas, you get this really nice kind of wiggly line coming through here. It's just a very fun border or ribbon. And we're halfway done. As you go along, if you see you need to do a little extra rounding, go ahead and polish that up. There we go. So we have Scara in the center with Doodah, a Doodah border around it. I think I'm going to put my pen away for now, and I'm going to take my number 2 pencil. And I'm just going to add a little shading maybe in these spaces here. Just so that I can kind of really make these petals pop out better. So I'm adding a little bit of graphite in these areas. When I make a video, I kind of add the pencil, the graphite a little darker so that you can see it better. But I always suggest to start a little lighter. That way you can go back and add more if you feel like it needs more. And I'm just making sure I've filled in the same area for each petal. And this is our last one. And then with the Doodah, you can add a little bit of graphite if you'd like. You could do it with your pencil and kind of smooth it out with your tortillon. Sometimes you can just do it straight from the tortillon if your tortillon has enough graphite on it. We'll see here. I'll just add it to one side right now. I'm going to set my pencil aside for a moment, and I'm going to take my tortillon, and it's just really tightly rolled paper. You can get these anywhere, like at Hobby Lobby, or Michael's, or maybe Joann's, or online. And we're just going to blend those areas with the graphite, and it's just a gently kind of rubbing that tip part onto the graphite and kind of bringing that out, smoothing it out. Oftentimes, this is my favorite part, adding the graphite and then using the tortillon. It's just something kind of relaxing about that scratchy sound with the tortillon on the paper. Using the tortillon does take a little bit of practice. But once you get the hang of it, I think you'll really enjoy it. Well, let's see with how much graphite I have on my tortillon. I'm gonna smooth these out a little bit. Take my towel and see if I have enough on there. Not quite. So I'm gonna have to take my pencil and add a little bit here on each side. Oh, I forgot an area. Sometimes that happens. I have to go back and fill something in, and that's okay. There we go. All right. Finish this off. I try to be consistent with where I place the graphite, but sometimes for interest I'll skip an area. Just really depends on what I'm in the mood to do that day. So, all right, we have something that looks like this. We have Scara with our Doodah border, and then for a little extra added interest, if you have a colored pencil or a gel pen or anything like that, you can add a little color. Today I have a Soufflé pen by Sakura, and it's this nice lavender color. So let's see if we can add a little bit of color here. I'm just going to color in the little circles. And make sure when you're using these pens that the areas dry before you actually touch it, because they can take a little longer to dry. Oh, I like that. And then for interest, I'm also going to add a little bit of color to the petals. And this is entirely optional. But give it a try, you might like it. You can also fill these areas in with simply with your black pen, and that creates a nice dramatic effect as well. I like these souffle pens because they're kind of juicy. they they're easy to work with. And I think I might like to just add a dot in each of these areas just for interest. I'm done with my souffle pen. Let that dry for just a minute here. And while it's drying, I'm gonna rotate it around and kind of appreciate it, because we don't often take time throughout the day to appreciate the little joys in life. And I really like this one. It looks pretty cool. You might find that you want to add some things like some leaves or like flux or tipple, some orbs for interest, but I'm going to leave it just as it is. It's actually still drying, but I'm going to try to decide where I'm going to put my initials. And you'll want to take a look at where you put your initials or your chop as well. Let's see where we are here. Okay, so that's the back. All right, like that. And I don't know if you can see, but as the souffle pen dries a little bit, it dries a lot lighter. So you get a very nice pastel type of color with that. And I think I'm just going to put my initials down in this corner here. And for this one, I'm just going to put it in a heart. That. And that's about it for day 15. Don't forget to sign the back and to put the date and the tangles we used, which was Scara by Midori Furuhashi, CZT. And also we did the outside border in Doodah. And it's been my pleasure to present this to you. I'm Nana Heron. I'm a CZT, and I just enjoy helping you discover your inner artist. All right, take care, everyone. Be well and enjoy these tangles. Have a great day. Love you. Bye.